In this video, I'm going to give you 3 tips that will help you get the best deal on office space in New York City. Hi everyone, Somwaru here. I help business owners navigate the office space market in New York City. So let's get right into it. Tip number 1, if you want to get the best deal, you would have to know your all-in cost for leasing office space. Additional costs are not given to you up front, and some costs are actually hitting in the lease. If you want to know your all-in cost, you would have to ask for a specific commercial real estate term. The term is total effective rents. Ask your leasing representative for the total effective rent so that you're able to compare spaces with the all-in cost. The reason for knowing your all-in cost is so that you can compare spaces effectively. Uninformed tenants compare spaces with the face or advertised rents. Experienced tenants compare spaces with the total effective rents. Bottom line, know your all-in costs so you can identify which space is a better deal. So let's move on to tip number 2. The second tip is to know what a loss factor is and how it affects the amount of space you pay for. If you want to get the best deal, you must know what a loss factor is and how it relates to the measurement of office space. If you have a high loss factor, you will get a lower amount of space within your office, and you will end up paying more money for it. All office spaces in New York City have a loss factor. It's up to you to find out the loss factor percentage for each space you consider. New York City is known for high loss factors. This is what you need to know. Office space loss factors in New York City range from 25 to 45%. Your goal is to get a lower loss factor percentage because you will get more space within your office for less money. You could find the loss factor of a space by asking an experienced tenant rep broker that you trust, and they will get you the loss factor for that space. You could also ask a landlord representative, but I would verify the number they give you. So let's move on to the third and final tip. If you want to get the best deal, don't just focus on getting the lowest rents. You might have gotten a good deal on the rent, but is it a good deal if there are issues within the office building? For example, how would you know if there's a security issue in the office building and it's not safe for you or your employees during certain times of the day? If the elevators are crowded or causing delays, or if the restrooms are poorly maintained? You would not find this information up front. Usually you will find out after spending a few weeks within your newly leased office space. So this is how you could save yourself from getting a poorly maintained building before signing an office lease. Visit 2 to 3 tenants within that office building and ask them if there's an issue with the operations of the building. You'll definitely get an answer quickly if the building is poorly maintained. So, quick summary. Tip number 1, compare office spaces by the total effective rents instead of the minimum rents. This will give you your all-in cost for the entire term of the lease. And it's minimum rents and advertised rents. They're both the same thing. So the office space rents that you see advertised, those are the minimum rents. They have not included none of the additional costs. So let's move on to tip number 2. Tip number 2, know what a loss factor is and how it affects the amount of space you occupy. The lower the loss factor, the more usable space you get within your office. Tip number 3, don't just focus on getting the lowest rents. Find out about the building's operations. Inquire with the current tenants and see if there's any additional or operational issues in the office building. If this video has been helpful, give it a like. If you'd like to see more videos like this, then subscribe to my channel for future videos. With that being said, thanks for watching.